Autoline Daily is brought to you by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Here are today's top headlines. America's lawyers and politicians line up to take on Toyota. Car sales in China could hit 15 million this year, and VW starts a new line of performance cars. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Friday, January 29, 2010. And now, the news. As Toyota broadened its recall, America jumped into action. American politicians and lawyers, that is. The Wall Street Journal reports that plaintiff attorneys are lining up to file class action lawsuits to sue Toyota over lower resale values that owners are likely to face, and to recover the cost of getting alternative transportation while waiting for their cars to get fixed. Then, over in the House of Representatives, Henry Waxman, chairman of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, is going to hold hearings to find out why it took Toyota years to respond to unintended acceleration reports that NHTSA was getting. But here is some good news for Toyota. Yesterday, we reported how GM and Ford were offering special incentives to lure Toyota buyers into their showrooms. But Hyundai says it's not going to do anything like that. And Ford stopping production of the Transit in China because it uses the same kind of pedal that Toyota is recalling, even though Ford has not received any complaints involving those vehicles. Last year, the U.S. Department of Energy approved a loan for Nissan to build the Leaf, its electric car, in Tennessee. But now, according to Wards, the automaker will not be getting as much as it initially thought. Nissan will get $1.4 billion instead of the $1.6 billion from the government. During the loan process, efficiencies were found that resulted in the lower loan. The company declined to say what those were. And all I can say is, can you imagine the Japanese government giving over $1 billion to an American car company for anything? China's auto sales are expected to slow from last year's pace, but will still see significant growth this year. According to the Wall Street Journal, a Chinese official says sales could hit 15 million units this year with help from government incentives and rising incomes in the country. That's about a 10% increase from 2009, which were nearly up 50% from the year before. And in related news, 5 Chinese automakers hit sales of at least 1 million units in 2009. According to Gasgoo, SAIC led the way with sales of 2.7 million vehicles. FAW came in second with 1.95 million, followed by Dongfeng with 1.89. Fourth place was with Chang'an Auto with 1.87 million, and rounding out the top 5 was Beijing Auto with sales of 1.2 million. The top 10 automakers in China accounted for 87% of all sales last year. Bloomberg reports FIAT technology could improve Chrysler's efficiency by up to 18%. 2 big innovations that can cut fuel consumption include a dual-clutch transmission, which is said to launch later this year on a redesigned mid-size Chrysler sedan, and an innovative valve control system called Multi-Air. CEO Sergio Marchionne aims to increase the fleet-wide efficiency of Chrysler vehicles 25% by 2014. Edmunds.com's Inside Line reports that Volkswagen will establish its own high-performance division like Mercedes-Benz's AMG or BMWs M. Called R or R-GmbH, it's said to be an extension of VW Individual, a European catalog of aftermarket parts. According to Inside Line, the R division of the company's Wolfsburg factory will build high-performance models from the ground up. Already, we've seen a 266-horsepower Golf R with 4Motion all-wheel drive, and the Scirocco R with 261 ponies. Look for an official announcement at the Geneva Motor Show in March. Coming up next, should the government be picking winners and losers when it comes to alternative cars and energy, or should the marketplace make those decisions? As you may know, we were in Washington, D.C. earlier this week, and we shot Autoline Detroit there with Daniel Weiss, with the very liberal Center for American Progress, and with Fred Smith from the very conservative Competitive Enterprise Institute, and with Ron Kogan, the publisher of Green Car Journal, kind of in the middle. Here's a soundbite that ought to get you to want to watch the whole debate.
They're trying to stop offshore drilling. They're trying to stop internal America deep gas drilling. What kind of an energy policy is when we have nothing to do except go on energy starvation diets or go to Saudi Arabia? That's not an energy policy.
Okay,
that's
first of all,
suicidal.
Fred, that's a straw man. No one's proposing that. Second of all, it's important to note that even with all of our offshore coast areas now open to drilling, the Department of Energy says that 20 years from now, we're still going to be importing 45% of our oil under current policy.
What part of our... I come from Louisiana. Louisiana has offshore drilling. The Western Gulf of Mexico, the East Coast, the West Coast, all off limits.
Not anymore.
Oh, no, they're still off limits.
The moratorium was lifted in 2008.
The moratorium's gone, but Interior has done nothing to allow the exploration of those areas.
That's this week's Autoline Detroit, which you can watch at our website at www.autolinedetroit.tv. Okay, it is Friday, and you know what that means. It's time to answer this week's trivia question. We asked you to identify the term for one of the key principles of the Toyota production system, or lean manufacturing, that is used to match the pace of work to the average pace of customer demand. And the correct answer is, it's tack time. Not just in time, tack time. As always, we randomly selected this week's winner from all the right answers, and the winner is Tom Stewart from Jamestown, New York. Congratulations, Tom. You just won an Autoline Detroit coffee mug. And that is it for a week that was heavy with a lot of breaking news. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.